Happy hello, and welcome to another wonderful Thursday night of For the Shenanigans with me, TC, and your girl,
Jahna.
So I'm super excited tonight. We're both excited. The reason why you probably see this right around my hair, which is one of my braids, yes, it is. Because why? We're talking about the lovely adventures of Black hair care today.
Because it gets real when it comes to your hair. I don't care if no one says, girl.
I'm just, bruh. The reason why we picked this one today, well, I was definitely advocating for it, is because I took out. Ooh, what was that?
We're
Oh,
good.
I took out my professional braids done. I want to say almost 2 weeks ago or whatnot,
Mm-hmm.
and like I told you, I've been like keeping up with the podcast. You know, you heard it here. She's been being more budget conscious and more financially conscious. And even though the best investment you can make is towards yourself, absolutely not knocking that. However, you know, when you know the change ain't flowing how it used to be flowing, you gotta just make some adjustments, you
That's so
know?
true. That's so true. But I mean, I will say this be the longest struggle for real, for real. Just the fact that like the process it takes, how long it takes, what products you use, certain products you use for certain times. I feel like for the seasons, the weather,
Mm-hmm.
styles, just maintenance alone. Do you got your bonnet? Do you have your silk pillow case? Are you doing all the things? Are you protecting it when you're going out and about? Which sometimes we are, and honestly, sometimes we're not. Like I ain't even do my edges today for real, for real.
I
I was
don't
just
ever
like,
do
it's
that.
what it is. Like, but I know, but there are those sticklers that are like, okay, I gotta have my edges laid all the time. I don't got that energy. I just don't.
I still can't get my edges down. I have about
Yeah.
4 different edge brushes. And I can't I don't have the finesse. Like I don't have it. And I'm not about to sit here and say I do because I don't. And I be trying. I
Uh huh.
really do.
Uh huh.
Um, you know what I found out about today about myself?
What?
I realized I am lazy when it comes to certain things. And when I say I'm lazy, like
Nothing wrong with that
we
though.
all
For
know the work ethic is strong.
real.
But when I say I'm lazy, it's because I really miss my nieces, Deanna and Denisha, because they all, they kept me, and this may also be showing my age, even though I'm still young.
It's okay.
I
You
feel
young
old.
girl.
They kept me young, and they did all this stuff for me. Like Denisha had my face together, with her business, Elasian,
Mm-hmm.
and all her like aesthetic. And she's an esthetician. Then
Mm-hmm.
Deanna, she did my hair. She was the only person that actually did my weaves. Like before, like this other lady that did it. Her name was Muffy and Bowie. But
Mm-hmm.
when they left, I'm not gonna say I stopped caring. It was more of like,
Mm-hmm.
can you just teach me? Can you do it? And they were always love to do it, so I would just let them do it. And then when they left, one in Atlanta, one in North
Girl.
Carolina, I'm just like, the hell am I gonna
Honestly,
do?
TikTok, YouTube be my best friends when it comes to like just learning stuff and like how to go about doing certain things. Like I think I just learned really and truly like when it comes like for cornrows, like I learned how to do that from trial and error of just constantly trying and or either I was always I had like a practice like head that I could just practice on. So I would just practice different styles on it. And then like I can do it on my hair, but I mean like when I do my hair, I'm just beyond lazy. Compared to if I was to do like your hair or someone else's hair, it'd be different. But you did a good
Let me say,
job. I can't hold you.
let me say about YouTube. Okay,
Hmm.
YouTube, because I'll say it. I'm confident, and there are times I can be very cocky and arrogant because I can watch something and I can pick it
Uh-huh.
up real fast. Even like
Hmm.
with Canva and systems and everything, I can literally just watch something, or if I have at least a little bit enough training, I can
Yeah.
really pick it up really fast. So I got on YouTube. I was
Okay.
like, you
Talk
know
about
what?
it, girl.
To be some other type of way to braid my own hair,
Uh-huh.
because another part of that is I grew up in the DMV.
Okay.
Like I said, my nieces have been taking care of me, my face and my hair. And then I have my one braid lady that I've been using my same braid lady that's at Norris Hair Salon in
Mhm.
Oxon Hill. I've been going to her for the last 6 years. That's my braid lady. I don't go with nobody else. She didn't do this, but that's my braid lady. Then I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm going to be going to with the move. I had to start
Uh-huh.
thinking about because when you go to a new area, you gotta find like
You too,
us
girl.
as
You know
black
me.
women. Not everybody putting their hands in our hair. You got your few people who do your hair, and that's it. Just
That's
your few
true.
people. So when I was looking, I didn't see a whole lot of people in Morgantown that could do black hair. And then the closest next city would be Pittsburgh. So I still was looking. I was just like, I am not that comfortable with that because when you've had a few experiences,
Yeah,
it
that's
just kind
true.
of
Because I had
scars
some
you.
bad hair experiences at certain places and different places that I've tried. I'm just like, yeah, this not it. We not coming back. Like I should have read the reviews and the reviews of the reviews. I should have read it all. Like sometimes I feel like you gotta look everywhere. Like I'm not just gonna look on Facebook and find out the reviews. I'm gonna go to any platform you have. Type your name in the search bar. I need to know all the different things because I'm about to get set up. My hair is like pride and joy. And honestly, I couldn't even tell you the last time I went to a salon. Like I will say, when I had locks, for instance, like it was so cool because, like, I had like my girls who could help me out, or either I would just be like, you know what, I need a good docu series, crime show, any Disney, what Pixar, whatever, so I could sit there and watch it, so I could get through my hair. But the problem with me is I start too late. It'd be 10 o'clock. I'd be like, you know what, guys, I'm gonna go wash my hair and blow dry it and do all the things, knowing good and well we're gonna be up to about 3.
So yeah, that was my issue too. Because going back to YouTube,
Mhm.
if I can, I was like, oh, you know what? If I like start around, first of all, I didn't have energy that whole day. And
Mhm.
I just kept watching videos, watching videos, watching videos, watching videos. And I want to say this is like 2 weeks in the making. This is like 2 weeks in the making. I'm like, oh, I can do that. I can do that. That seems real easy. I can at least do that part. Cool. I
Girl,
can do
you
that
was
part.
getting it though. I was proud of you for real. For real. I'm not even gonna hold you like
This
whether
is
it
the
was
this is the fourth style after trying however many. Because the first time I tried, if y'all
uh-huh.
look at my Instagram, I tried with some faux locks, some crochet faux locks.
You did. I remember. I remember.
And I was like, okay, you know what? I see how she's like having them go in the middle. Cool, I can do that. But
Mhm.
I can't, I realized I really can't part my hair the same way because of like my cerebral palsy on this arm.
Yeah.
But this, I said, okay, you know what? I have 5 packs of hair over here. This is gonna be my next braid round anyway. Let me
Mhm.
try this. And then I was trying that and it wasn't working. So then they had the rubber band method, which I did, but I did not part my hair the right way. But I was like, you know what?
I
I'm gonna do this.
mean,
We got 2 weeks to go. It's getting hot outside. I got all these different things, and I'm playing with this because John's gonna tell you why I'm playing with this little piece of my hair shortly. But I said, let me do this. And then like after I finished, I started at 7:30 Sunday
uh-huh.
night. I went and took a bait. I still had like this whole part of my head left at
Mhm.
6:30 in the morning. And I said, let me take a nap. And I got up and it took me another 2 hours just to finish that, cut it that like that, and then like dip it. And I just said, we're gonna
Girl,
use
I
this for
just
next
commend you. All I'm gonna say is I commend you because I just commend you. Because I'm one of those like I would have like gave up. I would have just did probably the perimeter of my hair, and then I would have just gave up, and it would have just been in the bun until further notice, if there was even gonna be a notice. Like, what's the longest you've like kept your hair in, like after getting a style, not including today?
The longest I've kept my like braids in,
Hmm.
I'll say, which was the last time I say it was getting to 9 weeks. I had a
Hmm.
touch up here and there, but it was getting to 9 weeks, and I was just like, I was like, this can't like last any longer because I'm like
Yeah.
every time I scratch my head, it's like it's snowing in my lap. So let's try to figure this out. Like I said, we gotta take this out. And then so before I took it out, I had watched all these YouTube videos. I took like 2 over here off the side, and I said, "Oh, I can do that. That's cool. It's fine." But when I took
And
my
you was like,
entire
nah.
hair and I was doing my entire hair, I was like, "Oh, this is harder than I thought." But then I realized that my hair texture is
Okay.
different, and the reason why this is out because I guess John's gonna tell me what hair texture I have.
Yeah.
Because I don't know what hair texture I have, and when I'm watching all these YouTube videos, I'll say I'm very thankful for the YouTube videos now because we didn't have this when I was in high school. So when I was
Mm-hmm.
putting my door, and, I don't know if y'all had jazzing. Remember the pink bottle
Yep.
jazzing?
Yep.
We used to like dye our hair and stuff like that. I was like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
okay, now I can have like I can get better with this because I got good at dyeing like my tracks. Like I became like real good at
So
the
wait, wait,
track.
wait, wait. So you was dyeing your tracks in college?
I dyed, yeah, all of my hair in college I dyed. Like the hair that you even see like in a lot of like my promo videos and stuff like that.
How
My
did
niece
okay, but how did
sewed in
I not
my
know
tracks.
that?
Yeah, Deanna sewed in my tracks, but I did the
Hmm.
color. I always did my own color.
I did not know that.
Because
You done taught
when
me something.
they were still practicing, they would use bleach.
Okay.
And I never wanted to use bleach because the one time I used bleach on my hair, it like stripped my hair.
Hmm.
And I didn't want that to do it on the tracks because before I
Yeah.
got like real hip to bundles, which I'll shout out to my cousins Nikki and Brianna. They told me you should just get some bundles. I was like, nah, I like the packs. And then I
I was
got
a
hooked on
pack girl.
bundles. Yeah,
I was
then I
a
got
pack
hooked on
girl.
the bundles, and I was just like, oh, okay. So let me go ahead and get this one done. And I just started figuring out ways where I did not have to use bleach to like strip it of like the texture
Uh-huh.
because how my natural hair got damaged in the first place was I had, I guess when we look at the chart later, I think I had like that really soft, like just really curly hair. Like it would stay curly whether it was wet or dry, no matter like how you combed it, you could still at least like run your fingers through it.
Hmm.
But when I was around, I want to say when I was like 8 or 9 or so, we'll also say allegedly.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, my one of my cousins says she did not do this, but this is how I remember the story because it's my truth. I remember her saying,
It
"Oh, let
is,
me
it
do
is, it is on your trip.
right." I remember her saying, "Oh, let me do your hair," and she was like putting like white cream and stuff in my hair. And so my aunt Renee is like the bomb at giving perms. Like everybody would come to or get relaxer. Everybody would come to her get their relaxer done.
Hmm.
So I could swear she put the white like or she was conditioning my hair or whatever when she was doing it. It was actually
Yeah.
relaxer, but it stayed in my hair for almost over like a few days.
Hmm.
So all of my so I had these really bad chemical burns in my head and all of my hair fell out. She said that she didn't do it, even though she was the one who did my hair that time. But she's like, it doesn't make sense because the longer it stayed in there, like you wouldn't have been able to take it. But I'm like, when it my hair dried, I kept saying my hair is on fire. And of course, my grandmother, may she rest in peace. You're being dramatic. Like, it's fine. She just was spray some like stuff on it, and you're just being dramatic. It's fine. But when I say I was like scratching my head, like it was burning so bad. And I got in trouble because I wet it, but when I wet it, literally all of my hair just fell down. Kind of like what was that? What's love got to do with it? When Tina Turner, remember her hair just started coming out in chunks. That's literally what happened. My hair just started coming out in chunks, so then I had to grow it all back.
Oh my
But ever
god.
since then, my hair never grew back to the same texture. Never.
That's crazy though. Oh my god. No, I don't even think I had an experience like that. Mhm. I
Very
mean, like,
traumatized.
don't get me wrong. I have had, the occasional, like, you was about to get a relaxer, you forgot about it, and you have been scratching all week long, and then here it comes, time to get your relaxer, and you're like, oh, they're like, oh, did you do? I'm like, no, I ain't do that. Girl would be in there crying, and my hair was so thick, so like I'm in there crying because bad. And then think about it, bad enough, like if I didn't get a relaxer, it's like I'm in there 7 hours versus like if I did, I was in there like maybe 5 hours because like my hair just never wanted to dry anytime I was getting my hair done. And relaxers, I've gotten burns from them, but like I don't think it's ever been that bad. But I used to hate how my hair felt afterwards. Like, I mean, I had a doobie, so that kind of like saved me. I feel like
What was a
maybe
doobie?
like when you get your hair roller set and like sometimes like they're way bigger ones versus like the normal size ones, and you sit underneath the dryer. Then after you in the dryer for a while and it dries some, then they take it out and then they um blow dry it out again, and then they flat iron your hair. I think that's how it was. I don't remember. I haven't had it in so long. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. So if I am wrong, I apologize that I'm wrong. But I feel
Oh
like
no,
that's how it is.
I whatchamacallit, I appreciate it because when I say like,
Yeah.
because because I want to get into it now. Like I guess before or after whenever we want to do this.
Hmm.
Want to do this hair texture thing now or
Yeah, we could do the hair texture thing only because like we gotta let it sit.
okay? So what am I doing now? Of
I was on TikTok
course,
because I always be on TikTok.
because
And I
I
was
just
trying to
want to
figure
say
out.
something. Daisha said she sent me some video the other day, which I'm not even going to repost or even talk about that nonsense that video was talking about. She said TikTok is so informative. That's where I mean like, I get like all my information from. And I was like, when the hell did the TikTok become the new Google?
TikTok is the new Google, the new news broadcasting system. It tells me about anything and everything. That's why I like. That's why I like it. And it's quick. Like I don't want. I'm not trying to sit here for 30 minutes of you doing your hair. Like get to the point. Give me like the main basic steps, so then I can find the next video for the next main basic step. Like that's what I want. I want like I mean most of the stuff I already know. I mean I'll go on Pinterest if it's that serious. Like for certain things if I just don't want like have time to like listen to something. But TikTok, no, they're gonna tell me everything like low porosity. So we're gonna do the low porosity first before we do the texture. Only because that gotta sit anyway. And don't quote me on how long it's gonna sit. It's gonna sit for most of this thing until we can figure it out. But basically what they told us to do is you get your brush in which it probably already has some hair on it, but you don't have that right now. But it's okay. And you're gonna get some hair off it, and you don't really need a lot. You just need like a few. Is this how they do it? The YouTuber? A few pieces of it. Now mine is the fact that it probably has product or whatever on it. So you're gonna take some shampoo, and I just use my Chi shampoo that I use for my hair, and we're just gonna like pretty much clean it like you would clean your own hair. And you just do a little bit, and you're just gonna rub the hair in the shampoo and get it all nice and clean. And then you're gonna take your cup with the water that I told you about, which I don't know if you went and got water.
No, I did not. So I was like, I know it was like a science experiment, so I'm about to do this and then post it later.
Yeah, I
But
thought I'm gonna do mine.
I
I
was like, I said I have
was
some
like,
water sitting here to wet my hair, but I don't know what else she's talking about right now. Like I said,
I'm sorry.
that's gonna take a minute, and I'm wearing. I said I'm wearing shorts, and I got a blanket,
Yeah,
so
no,
I
I'm
can't do
good.
that on air right now.
No, ma'am, no, this is live.
Okay,
Yeah, I'm
you
gonna
want
do
me to
it.
wet my hair? Is that different? I was like, is that different?
It's
I'll
okay.
wet it.
It's okay. I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you the rules.
I'll wet it.
In my head, I was like, I told her about the water, but did I tell her that she needed water? I don't remember.
No, you didn't. Nope.
Sorry.
It's okay. Communication. It's fine.
It's
Yep.
okay.
Um. So I'm wetting it. I wet it.
Well, we will be able to see though too once you wet your hair. So you do your
Wonder
hair.
if you guys are here for these type of shenanigans.
I
Clearly,
mean,
I am.
this is truly.
Clearly,
I
these are the
just thought
shenanigans
about it.
that Jahna's putting me through tonight. But
That's
this is what
fine.
we're
I
doing.
mean, but technically, you told me you were taking your hair out, so I kind of get
No,
it.
I well after I taking that one out and figuring that out, I was like, I don't have that type of time this weekend because I'm
Yeah.
studying to say get my license. I have a test that I need to take in 2 weeks.
Ooh.
So and I'm like working on a whole bunch of stuff next week. So I don't have that type of time. So I'm like, I'm just gonna have to take this moment to let my OCD get over it. So yeah. Oh, am I supposed to be doing this? I wet it.
Yeah.
Am I
Yes,
supposed
you are for the second part. I'm gonna finish this part. So you take your hair and you wet it, like I said, with the shampoo. You're gonna clean it. It's gonna needs to be like clean of all products or what have not you. So you clean it, and while you're cleaning it, this is more than I bargained for. And see, like my hair, for instance, like it still holds the shampoo. Um, but I do know once you've cleaned it, you're gonna take like a few strands and in a different cup of water. That's why I was like, I probably told you about the one cup, but you really need two. And this other cup, this messenger, we're not even talking about the shenanigans that I just put. I
Yep.
apologize.
Those shenanigans of hers.
I apologize. So after your clean hair, in which I'm just gonna dry it off because yeah. Okay. Dried it, no more shampoos on it. I'm gonna put it in water and just it's a few pieces of well, either way. It's few pieces, and if it sinks to the bottom, that means one thing. If it sinks to the top, that means one thing. And if it sinks to the middle, that means another thing. And I'm about to pull up the picture so I can tell you what
I'm
the
about to
thing
say, what do those things mean?
So, hair porosity. All pictures and anything that I have found or looked up was 9 times out of 10 off of Pinterest. There you have it. Now you know.
I'm
Hair
trying to
porosity.
open it with preview.
Huh?
I'm trying to open it with preview.
Okay. So to choose the right product for your hair, you need to determine what your hair needs are, do that, and it will test your hair porosity. So that's pretty much what I was doing with this. You're gonna take your glass of water, you're gonna put your hair in for 5 minutes and observe. And basically, top and low porosity hair, we're gonna use some tips, or we're gonna show you some tips. And then if you're medium porosity and if you're high porosity. And this is just determining like what is your best like basically method to keep your hair nice and hydrated and all that stuff. Again, or maybe I should preference like I'm not a doctor, medical, anything. I'm not a cosmetologist, even though I did take my first year of cosmetology. Um,
Shut
so where'd you go?
right here. I've been right here the whole time. You were talking about that, and I was trying to get the picture up.
Oh,
What post?
I was like, why don't I only see? Hey, girl.
I was trying to say, but hey, we were on time today, so I'll take that. But I realized what happened as the reason why I can't preview this because it has to be sent to my email in order for me to show it in that type of cassette. So that's what I was doing while you were.
Oh, really?
Yes, but hey, we were on time. I'm gonna take the fact that we were on time.
Okay, let's see. Well, they can't really see this thing. So pretty much we have 5 minutes in which I did not calculate the time. But guess what? The 5 minutes is going to be the 5 minutes in which I choose. So when I remember that we have it,
I
I'll let
cannot.
it. So while we're doing that, we're gonna talk about your hair texture. So you tell me like your curl pattern. What's your curl pattern?
I guess that's why I wet my hair so I can figure it
Hmm.
out.
Okay.
Because I don't know, because that was another thing too. When I was like watching all of the I was watching literally all of the YouTube videos and they kept talking about hair texture. Like when I say that this time around, I was so frustrated with okay, here we go. I was so frustrated with just like doing my hair is because
Mhm.
I've been like mostly with protective styles for the
Yeah.
past couple of can you see this? The screen? Yeah. So I've been
Um,
like mostly oh there you go. So I've been mostly doing protective styles for like the past I want to say at least 3 or 4 years. And I include weave as a protective style because most of my hair is braided because when it's out, I have the bad habit of putting so much heat in it that I break it off.
mm-hmm.
But I started noticing that this time around when I took my hair out, um uh, at the ends, my ends are so split that I would every time like I would comb my hair, I feel like I was raking through my hair, even after deep conditioning, everything. So I was like trying different products, putting oil on it. I still put oil on it while like it's braided up, like but nothing was working. So I was so frustrated. I was like, just braid up because I don't have the type of time. Like I don't have the type of time. I don't have the patience no more. Like literally, that's why I love braids or crochet, just because it'll be so great.
That's
But
true.
when determining my like what new products to use, because like you had mentioned earlier, I thought I was going crazy when like certain products wouldn't take to my hair anymore because I was always using like the argan oil, like the red bottles of the cream of nature. or then I would like use. I like the mane and tames that was used that was on my that was going great for my hair one time before, but I would have to keep switching products, and I was like, bruh, like I'm spending too much money on this stuff. Like this
Yeah.
is getting irritating. I was just like, Deanna, where you at, bruh? Where you at, Mo? Where you at? Like, tell me. She's like, just do this, do this, do this. And when I'm like, that's the one thing where that statement saying that you can show somebody through a video or you can tell people how to do something,
Mm-hmm.
but or when people say, oh well, if you post your video, like people gonna steal your recipes and something like that. They can or they can still look at it, but ain't nobody gonna do what you do like you do. I'm doing what they
Period.
told me to do,
Period. You know
but I
what?
still am not getting it like how she was getting it. And it was not coming out the way that it came out like if
Yeah.
she were to do it. And it was annoying the hell out of me. So
Yeah.
and she's like, well, what's your hair texture? I was like, I don't know. And only videos I was watching, I guess, were all 4C. I think that's another reason why I thought the braiding, the past,
Yeah.
I say I've spent literally a span of 28 hours just figuring out how to braid my own hair in the past 3 weeks. I was so irritated, but all the videos I was watching, everybody had like 4C, 4B hair. So I'm thinking, if we're looking at
That's
this,
okay.
let me see. If we're looking at this,
Mm-hmm.
it's looking like I have, what was that,
It's
3G?
3C, sweetheart.
Oh, three.
I
Oh,
don't
there's
think you have.
my glasses on.
I'm not saying that you don't have 3C, but I don't feel like you have like the coil. Like you have the curl.
Yeah.
Okay, here
And
we
this is
go.
like, and I haven't used relaxer in about, I want to say almost 3 years now. So this is like my natural. So because I will say the only time I was using them was like when I would like get my weaves because
Mhm.
I would just want like my front to lay flat. But since I've
Mhm.
stopped using it, even when I like straighten it, it got all right. But when I tell y'all,
Mhm.
when I had my hair out and I had, the by the way, the ponytails, I didn't get hip to those till last year.
Really?
What a great little less than $20 investment, I will tell you.
You know, that is true. I hear all the time about the ponytails save lives. I will say, when I was in, for instance, like I did a ponytail when I was in Jasmine's wedding, and I mean, granted, I had locks, but where is that your ponytail?
Yeah, this is the latest one.
What's
Normally
her
my
name?
ponytails, the style I get, her name is Chi Chi. This not Chi Chi. I forgot what her name is. Um, but my favorite ponytail, her name is Chi Chi, the one I was wearing like all last year. But I was just like,
Uh-huh.
they had a color that I want, and the last Chi Chi I got has that blonde at the end,
Mhm.
which
Oh
I'm
yeah,
not
yeah, I remember.
opposed to, but it's just a lot. Like it has like the black part here, and the rest of it's blonde. I'm just like, I be feeling like my alter ego, like, little Sasha Fierce come out. But all you do
Mhm.
is it has like this drawstring,
Uh-huh.
and like when you put your hair in a ponytail, however you do it, like it
Um,
has like a comb here. You put at the top, put it on the bottom.
okay.
You just pull this and leave it on there. That's why when y'all had something, I said, "Oh, hey, I got this ponytail. It's not so bad." I was like, "Oh, I can't shake it too much because I ain't really
Woo!
secure it down." Because normally I put like a bobby pin on each side just to make
Uh-huh.
sure. Because one time before I was at
Mhm.
work, right? And I was just in the middle of
Yeah.
the kitchen. Thankfully, I was in the back of the kitchen,
Uh-huh.
but I was standing there, and all of a sudden, my ponytail just dropped to the ground like a pair of panties.
Nope. Nope.
And
Nope. 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 Nope.
at an
Nope.
Usher concert, and I just stood in the middle of the kitchen because like it was like 15 chefs looking at me and like my servers and everything. And I was just like, well, I mean, I can either put it back on, or I can just toss it. So I ended up just tossing it. I'm just thankful it didn't happen in the middle of the dining room because we had
You
the
tossed
side
it?
out there. But it happened, yeah, it happened literally on one of my shifts when I was still working in hospitality. And when I say that ponytail hit that ground faster than a pair of panties at an Usher concert, and I just stood there. What made it even worse is because I was using Faith at the time. I was on the crutch,
Oh,
so
okay,
I'm
okay.
crippled, and now I'm hairless. I just said, "Fuck it."
Stop.
Sorry. So I just said, "Forget it, man. It's gone." So I threw it in the trash, and I just like brushed my regular ponytail out a little bit, put some water on it. And that's what I'm saying. Like now, this is also too new. The
Mm.
little bit of water on here,
I mean, it
y'all
looks
saw
cute
how long it
though.
was. But then a little bit of water, like just I'm not used to that. It's frustrating.
Well, real quick before we get to it, so the hairs is still at the bottom of this
Hmm.
thing, which means I have low porosity hair. Um,
Okay.
your hair, go back to like I mean, you're definitely not in the 4C at all.
Yeah, somebody told me I have 4 seed. I was like, I don't think that's right because from what I'm looking
No,
at, no shade, we have very different hair textures.
we do.
And not me and you, but I was like, what I was looking
No.
at, like, oh, this is the hair porosity. Porosity. Mm-hmm.
That's your prerogative, girl.
Yeah,
However you say it
that's
is
this
however you
one.
yes.
So if you say
That's
yours is to the
I
top,
mean,
mine's
I
to
don't
the
know
bottom.
why I'm sorry. I don't know why I said low. I meant high. I apologize. I can't see. It's at the bottom of the cup. That's where mine's is.
So you treat your hair with leave-in to detangle, strengthen, and moisturize. Use a silk serum to tame the frizziness. So I
Mhm.
always use, I feel like maybe I have like the medium. I guess I'll try this later, but I
I
use a
feel like
setting don't. Oh, so I should probably use low heat. Mm,
mm, mm.
use low heat.
What?
See, told you. That's why I told you put on that do not disturb on the computer too. You
You
gotta do it on
know
the
you have to serve. That's the problem.
I
But
told you
you
it happened to me too. And you gotta put it's like a certain you gotta go to the back like end of like your settings on your Mac and go to like the notifications. Oh, look at me teaching you Mac. And I just got mine in
okay,
January. Look at me teaching you Mac.
okay. No, don't do me that because I really didn't. I was like, what's happening? Where everybody?
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, but then here's my next thing, right? So I know, which I'm learning now too, is that even in between braids and everything else like that, you should still like trim your hair. Even
Mm-hmm.
though I will say one person told me, "Oh, you don't need to do that because then like your hair will stick out from your braids and you'll cut it anyway." But I think the amount of hair that I'm shedding, and because I just like sometimes don't let it air out enough, I
Mm-hmm.
should be doing that. And leave and I've done the leave out conditioner and whatnot, and like at least let it air out for a day. Excuse me. I call it myself trimming my own ends, but my hair is still uneven. So I really think I should just probably go to a natural hairstylist and get it cut.
Mm-hmm.
I had this question though, because like you said, it's been a while since you've been like to a salon. It's been a while since I've been to a salon like that too, that just like wasn't a braiding salon or
Mm-hmm.
whatnot. But as a businesswoman,
Mm-hmm.
like I understand the cost, the demand, your supplies, your time, all that stuff. Totally understand that.
Yeah.
But what I don't understand is like I'll say someone sent me like their recommendation for a natural hair care salon, right? So as I'm
Mm-hmm.
looking through, um, they have this service that if you are a new client, you have to do this new client consultation with the master stylist that's at this particular salon.
Okay.
It was $365.
For
Mind
what?
you, three hundred sixty-five
What was
dollars
the 65 including?
$365 where you get hair care tips, where you get like a consultation of what kind of hair you have, what's
Mm-hmm.
wrong with your hair, what the tips are,
Mm-hmm.
how to maintain and take care of it. You get just a wash, a blow dry, and a silk press. But if your hair is thick or longer, you'll
Mm-hmm.
be charged up to $465 for said silk press. And when I saw that, my first inclination was, well, that's just as much as I want to get my braids, or even at my braid lady, or if I want to go get like some faux locks or some locks or
Yeah.
some crochet twists, I'm even paying less than that if I go to this other stylist. So you mean to tell me for hair this length, and I'm getting no hair added into it? I ain't got no sew in, I ain't got no no extra braids in, no
I don't like
nothing,
it.
and you're not even trimming my hair. You're just talking to me. You're giving me the consultation, and you're just gonna wash and blow dry it and silk press it. And that's $365. I'm missing
Mm-mm.
something.
I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Cause that's just too much money. I mean, and maybe it's because like I mean, I know like you're like more like the real heart of like the DMV area, so I know like the cost of hair, even like buying packs of hair, I know is way more expensive out there than it is out here where I am.
Yeah.
Because I remember, I feel like we went to a hair store before together out there, probably like in DC, I want to say. And I
Hmm.
feel like y'all's braiding hair might have been like starting at like 9.99 for like a small pack that didn't even have
Hmm.
like 2 to 3 to it. And like out here, I could literally get a like 3 packs like within one for like way more. How much
Yeah,
was that?
this right here,
Uh-huh.
$8.99. Actually, eight. No, this is $9 in the beauty supply store, but I got a
Uh-huh.
5 pack off of Amazon for 35. So it came out to like 7 or so. But
Yeah.
this also
Yeah.
has like the color, so this is the one I'm using now. But there
Mhm.
are certain like braiding. I like expressions as far as the braiding one because there was two other ones I've used that I noticed that if you don't like cleanse it or soak it first, it makes my hair itch like crazy.
Okay.
So this brand doesn't make my hair itch. So anytime I go get my hair braided, I always use expressions. And even this is what like this in my hair now is expressions. Where if I don't have time to like soak my hair or like clean it and let it air dry or whatever, just because I'm maybe pressed for time, that
Mhm.
hair like I like that because it doesn't make my hair on fire. There was one brand that I don't know what it was, but when I say she put in my hair, and James will tell you there was like that whole weekend I went to Morgantown afterwards. I kept doing this like I was a dog or a bear on a tree against the pillows. So bad. It was so bad. And I was like, James, I have no idea
Girl.
what's going on. Like when I say I put so much oil in my hair and I had sprayed
Yeah.
like the attention spray, he was like,
Uh-huh.
"What is going on with you?" Like I
You
said,
know,
"I'm not."
that actually happened to me before though. I was getting a style that I never got before, and it was like those like how like they would like I don't know what they're called. I forgot what it was, but like they're like these big twists that end up going into like some type of updo or whatever. And
Hmm.
anyway, long story short, like she put those things in, and as she was doing them, I was literally feeling like something was inside of my head trying to get out. Like it's so bad. Like I could have literally went out to the pavement on the concrete and just was like just went and just scratched my head on the concrete. Like it
And
hurt so bad.
sometimes it's like that because the hair isn't clean.
Yeah, that, but like even the style felt like she was like taking a razor and just shaving like the
Mm-mm.
flesh off my hair. And this was just like her having it up. And I just remember like just crying and bawling. And she was so mad. I know she was mad because one, I'm young. Two, I'm making this big scene in this salon. And then she was like, at first, she was like threatening not to take it out. And I was like, if you don't take it out, I'm going to take it out. Like, that's how bad it is. And I was just like, yeah, no, never again. She ended up, I was like, just wash my hair. And I know my mom was upset because like we rode out to Richmond, and which from where
Yeah.
I stay at is like 35, 40 minutes. And she had like probably had been working or whatever. And I'm just like, but that thing is so bad. I was just like, nope, never again. Not doing it. Mm-mm.
I just think also even when it comes to hair care, like I mean most I'll say most black men understand. But and especially black men, we all understand when we say it's hair day, no, it's like maybe a whole like
That's a whole 9 to 5
2
shift.
days, sometimes maybe a week process.
Yeah, yeah. Like I feel like the first time I ever did my hair, like not going and getting it done, and like it was natural. So of course, like you gotta like wash your hair, or you could either pre-poo your hair. Then you're gonna sit for a while. Then you're gonna shampoo your hair. You're gonna condition your hair. You might do a leave-in conditioner. You might do a deep conditioner. You might go from doing that. Then you gotta sit even longer. Are you gonna wait for a while? Are you gonna rinse it right out? Like it's just so much that goes into it. I need to make sure that I have like already gotten food, so I don't gotta stop in between. And if I do stop, I'm just sitting while like the leave-in conditioner's on. I gotta make sure I have really good movies to watch if I'm gonna do my hair, and I gotta really be determined and motivated because if I'm not,
But it's an experience, bro. Like It's
It is.
too much.
Detangling alone take like 20 years. It feels like,
Bruh,
and
what
even if
that's
you
what I'm
have
saying.
it
Like
down
this
pat.
whole new natural hair care journey that I'm like,
Mhm.
I'll say like I'll start going natural just because I was just like, all right, me constantly
Mhm.
perm my hair, perm my hair, perm my hair, and I'm getting braids. Like there is no point in that because I think one time I had did it and then got braids like 2 or 3 days later. When I
Uh-huh.
say my scalp was on fire, not a good idea. So she when my braid lady said like if you're she said there's no point in you doing that when you about to get braids because it's just sitting with braids in it. So I just say okay, so I stopped doing it because I was just getting braids consistently. And the last time I had got like a weave, I think it was like last April for my pictures. I didn't even do it then just because I was just like, this is too much of a fiasco. I was too worried about making sure that the bundles were clean. Like, you got to make sure that you clean your bundles and your bundles air dry
Uh-huh.
because blow drying it, like, will sometimes take even more of the texture out of it than air drying it. Even same thing, like when it comes to your hair. That's why I
Yep.
don't want to blow. And if you don't have like a heat serum or protecting on it, like, there's just so many different things that go into it. So when other people, especially other people that will be at your place of work, will always ask you, "Oh, well, like you're." I just like I wake up and wash my hair, like I just blow dry. That's it. And then you're like, "Oh no, I can't do that." Well, how long
Yeah.
does it take? And I'll say this: it's not. I don't mind you asking because I don't mind explaining, but don't compare our hair journeys, and more importantly, don't put your damn hands in my hair. Do not do
That
it.
part.
I don't even like it when my fellow people do it. Don't put your hands in my hair. Like, I don't know where your hands have been. I
True.
don't know, especially people who I know you don't like me. Because you be having some of them coworkers who may be
That's
your
true.
friend of me and they want to come over and put their hands in your hair. My
Yeah.
grandmother always told me that if someone has ill will towards you, don't eat from them and don't let them touch you, especially
That's
not your
true.
hair.
That's true. I
Now,
I'm a big advocate of just don't touch my hair. Like, and if you are gonna touch, at least like ask me just so I have the chance to say no. Because I mean, I hate those
or
people that like to come
this,
up to you and they be like,
your hair is so soft.
"Hey,
It's like
like."
it feels like a sheet. It's so soft. It's so curly. Oh,
Mhm.
you have a lot of stuff on it. Why is it my hand is
Why is it so
shiny? Bitch, your
greasy?
hand's supposed to
Why
be
is
in
it
there
so
anyway.
shiny? Yep,
It
I
was
can't
supposed to be
stand
in there anyway.
that part. I really can't stand it. Then it's just like I'm always used to hearing the, "Oh, I never know how you're gonna look the next time. Wasn't your hair just short yesterday? Oh, your hair grows really fast. How'd you overnight? I'm a chia pet."
If you don't have anything nice to say, don't say nothing at all. Because we both been at least in corporate space and corporate America long
Mhm.
enough. I would hate like one day you see me with my natural hair out, or next day you see me in a ponytail. Next day you see me because y'all know right now one of my signatures is my braids. I mean they ain't this long now because I did them, but my braids all the way down there. Like, oh, that kind of like they grew, and I'm like, first
They
of all,
did overnight.
you know that they didn't grow that long. You know it didn't. So stop. Second of all, it's like either just say it looks nice or don't say nothing at all. Like
That's
those,
true.
it feels like a backhanded comment
That's true. No,
because
I feel that.
then it already like is the fact that we have to have bills and have conversations, with the DEI movement and all of these things of just so that way people of color can wear their natural hairstyles in the
Mhm.
workplace.
Mhm.
Because that's another reason why I had stopped perm my hair because I didn't realize how they were so socially connected was when I started feeling more comfortable in my skin and I said, I'm going to show up as myself
Mhm.
or nothing at all, or just not show up. And a
Yeah.
part of showing up as myself means that in order to maintain the 70 to 80-hour work week,
Mhm.
that y'all are kind of, even though you're not forcing me, I'm still working because of said situations. I do not have time for myself. I do not have time to constantly be flat ironing my edges or my leave out
Mhm.
in the morning. I don't have time for
Mhm.
that. So what am I going to do? I'm going to wear my braids. And my braids, do they look very, I guess, cultural? Are they a part of my culture? Yes. But I noticed a difference when I stopped wearing weave to when I
Mhm.
started going to braids and how people responded to me. And when my natural hair was out, I always got three different types of responses from
It's
just
true.
people, even our own people, and going out. I can't stand it.
No, I get that because you definitely get those three looks, and not only in the corporate space. I feel like even like as a single person, like going out, like when I have my hair in braids versus when I have my hair natural. When my hair was cut really short, like I always was approached differently by like the same group of people or different people. Especially like I think when I first cut it and I was at work and I had to be on Zoom one time and it was just so awkward because I was in my head, I was just like, that's right. Last time we had a meeting, I had these locks that were like down here. And now they're about to see me and probably think, oh my gosh, she's having a crisis. Or she crazy. I was really nervous. I don't think I've never been, and it was so crazy because I was running a group. I was running a group, and I remember and it was a game, and I hadn't expected to like have to turn my camera on, but it was a game in which like one of my coworkers called like the whole team out like, "Well, Jahna, like, how do we know like no one's cheating? Like the cameras need to be on." And I was just like, "Yeah, let me go get the rest of the items." I'm lying because I was just like, I need to like wet my hair. I've never sprayed my hair so fast in my life before, like while in a meeting, but like to turn on my camera. And when I turned my camera, like no one said anything, but like the facial expressions that I read in that room was just
You can still tell.
hilarious because it was just like, she okay? Like, do we who did anyone like no one mentioned it? And it's so crazy too because like my profile picture for Zoom is technically me with my locks. So of course like to come from that and then turn my camera on and you see this practically bald headed girl, you're gonna be like, is everything okay? And I got some messages afterwards and it was so funny. I mean they weren't like really rude. It was just more of a I like what you're doing with your hair.
Because I feel like also too when people see us like change or switch our hair up or just be natural, or whatever, they think we're going through some type of like you said crisis, or we're having,
Hmm.
I'll say, a child star meltdown moment. I'm not gonna call
Yeah.
no names. We'll just say
Yeah.
a child star meltdown moment because we've
Yeah.
we've seen them in the movie in the media. We know what that looks like. And they
Yeah.
cut off all the hair or they're doing the party and stuff like that. But the first sign is you cut off all your hair, like it's a just drastic thing.
Mhm.
And I'm like, no, either I like you said, I'm in between hair weeks. It's literally hair weeks. Like I said, it may not even just be hair day, it may be hair week, depending on what next style you're getting.
That's true.
Because it's just it be like that.
Like, I
It be
feel
like
like
that.
the first time I ever had to, like, put, like, hair in my head was I was about to have my surgery, and, I don't know if it was, like, the very first one. I wanna say it was in, like, 2014. I was about to have a surgery, and I had my appointment set up. I had my hair with me. I was going to the pre-op. Well, I didn't know the pre-op was gonna be, like, 3, 4 hours long.
Mm-hmm.
Long story short, I kept updating her, and she was really sweet because she didn't have anyone else that day, so it kinda helped me. But, it was getting to the point that I didn't even feel comfortable, and I was just like, "I don't even care, like, you can keep, like, the down payment of it." I was like, "I'm not gonna be able to get to you." I thought this was just gonna be a quick, like, blood work, keep it going, but it was, like, a longer pre-op than I expected, and I had to do my hair. Girl, I never been on YouTube so much because I think my surgery was, like, I wanna say the next day. So, like, I had all this hair, and I had to figure out a easy way to do my hair before the surgery because I knew I was gonna be in the hospital for a while too, so it really
Mm-hmm.
had to matter. Well, long story short, and funny story too. I had the surgery the next day. I got it all done. I had the surgery the next day. When they brought me back in from surgery, though, I was on the bed. They said my track was just laying on the pillow like this. And so, like when they brought me in, they was like, "Oh, I just want to let you know, like when these fell out, like during her surgery, they were like petrified, petrified. They didn't know what to do with that darn piece of hair. Petrified. It was like, yeah, we didn't take it. Like, no, and it was just literally laying. Like, it was a person. Like, it was the stick figure person right beside me. When I woke up, man, I was just like, what is this?
Bruh, the worst also too when your braids fall out, or because you know like how sometimes your ends will slip out.
Just
And I
imagine
used
being
to
in line when that happens. Oh.
that happened like so that happened to me like so when I did my surgery in 2020, I got knotless braids.
Mhm.
But I still don't know how this one knotless braid from like it was I think it was like at the edge of my head because it's always too like my edges. I'm trying to regrow those back as y'all
Mhm.
probably also too can see now.
Mhm.
But it slipped out and it was on the floor of the operating room. So like you said, yours on the pillow, mine's on the operating room. And like one lady said, we thought a snake was in here. And I was like, the snake. I said, what the hell? And when she said
Oh my god.
the one who said it was this side, and the other lady, she was just like, girl, you look good for surgery. I know you also probably had some things going on. I just wanted to bring you this, which is what caused the commotion in the operating room, which she was talking about. And I was just like, I felt so embarrassed. I'm like, but then as I started wearing braids more and more, I was just like, bruh, it'll slip out, it'll slip out. That's why I
Man,
started learning how to braid. At least like when those happen, I need to know like how if I can't always get to my braid lady, I need to know how to braid it
put
back
it back in.
at
Yeah.
least and put it back in. So I had tried a few weeks ago before I had took my her braids out, and I was like, oh okay, maybe I can do this. You know, feeling all confident. Got my
Mhm.
two little edges done. And after that, I was like, yeah, no, I'm not for this. When I say this, I did this
Actually,
last
I might need
weekend.
a tutorial from you because I have one. It's because our hairs are shorter up on the side, and I might end up having to, need your assistance virtually, of course.
Oh well, I have to put this one back in. So yeah, we can do that
Yeah,
virtually. Because
virtually.
I'll say this, I tried the rubber band method, but what I they didn't really show me how to do a great job of was to braid around the rubber band. So out of a lot of my braids
Uh
here, my rubber bands are showing,
huh.
which I'm the reason why I want to take it out and I'm so self-conscious of it. And they're like, TC, you probably spend like I did. I spent 15 hours doing this by myself and it looks like this. So what? It was my fourth
It
try
still
of
looks
doing it.
good.
I'm gonna rock it. But my thing is I'm going
Mhm.
to 3 schools in the next week.
Mhm.
And we all know how children can be.
Yeah, cause girl, you don't want to go viral for helping a young kid.
And this is my profession. This is my livelihood. I can't like I'm
Yeah.
already feeling self-conscious about it, but again, we go back to that point where we all know how kids can be because kids did it to me in school with my hair. Like
Yep.
even after my all it, especially after all it fell out, even when it came back in, when I dyed my hair, all this the extra stuff, we already know how kids can be. To the point where
Mhm.
that's why I was just like, I need to find a if anybody has any recommendations, put them in the comments, send me a DM. I need someone who can do my natural hair and just like also too just if it is a silk press thing, cool, whatever. But I need someone to cut it because I was just like, maybe I'll do what we did in college when I was looking at our pictures. I was like, maybe I'll just like dye it red and just wear that for a while until I
Yeah,
decide to put
I miss
braids
dyeing
back
my
in.
hair.
I was like, maybe I'll just do that. But I'm like, before I do anything else, I have to get this shit cut. Like I have to get it cut because
Yeah.
when I tried to cut it
Actually,
myself
I'm
too,
guilty of that though. Like with my natural hair, when it's natural, like naturally curly, like for me, just wetting it and stuff. Girl, if I see one straight hair, I'm cutting it. If I feel like it just needs a trim and it don't look right, I'll cut it.
I have cut it, but I'm not cutting it evenly. And I think I'm not like, see, I'm like
Oh
trimming it
yeah, you're
enough
trying to
so
do
like it still has the length, but
that.
I need like it professionally cut in order for it to keep continue to grow back because the texture is coming back as like we saw the texture is coming back,
Oh
like
yeah,
the
for
thickness
sure.
is coming back, like the fullness is coming back. But what's not coming back is like me keeping the length because like say
Yeah.
for instance like right here it's okay, but like towards the middle of my hair and like all right back just in this area, it's like I'm raking through it and it just also hurts so bad. That's why like I was telling you when I was doing it
Yeah.
or if like I
Mhm.
was raking through my hair, if like I was raking through it, it was so bad.
Yeah. Yeah, you
I
might
couldn't.
just need to get you a consultation. And honestly, I feel like sometimes with when it comes to black people in our hair, or anyone who has this really textured hair, I feel like once you go to that salon and you figure out like what is wrong, like what you can do, like your porosity, your hair texture, what products work for you. Is it water based? Is it oil based? Like, do you need to do the lock method? Like there's just certain different things. But I feel like once you learn that part when you have natural hair, the moment you really understand it, it just makes it so much simpler because then it's just like you'll get into that routine and your routines will become shorter and shorter. Because even like with your hair, I feel like my first time I did like faux locks too. I feel like it took me like forever, but then the second time when I did it, it was so much faster. Just like even when it comes to like cornrolling people's hair, like I'm much faster now and without nails. I corn way better without nails. Um, I don't know how and or why 'cause you would think that your nail would be a good guide, but for me, like if I don't have my nails, like I can really braid your hair really faster. Um, but oh, got some.
I respect you for it because I did it a week with no nails, and I was like,
Uh
"This
huh.
is bonkers." And when I had my nails, I was like, "Oh, this is so much faster." I
Yeah.
could
See, no,
okay,
I
cool.
can't. No, 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 no. But I will say, I feel like once you figure it out, it's so much easier. Cause I mean, I'm not gonna hold you. I miss doing my two strand twist or my curling my natural hair like with like the perm rods.
I
I
saw
miss
somebody
doing
else do that, like the two strand twist, and I was like, I want to do that too. And I was just like, I probably just my first step, I think, is getting the like you said, getting. I'm not paying for also no consultation,
no,
but
please
they're
don't,
at it.
please don't.
But
No,
I'm
no,
like,
ma'am.
I'll probably go to. Oh, we got a comment. Let me see. Oh, thanks, backpack. So I was just like, I'm not gonna pay $400 for it, but what I will do is I'm probably going to go to an actual hairstylist that can
Mhm.
trim it and like that's not within that range because just me personally, again, it comes back to I understand the business. I know how
Yeah.
like your supplies, like your time, you got to pay that booth rent, all that stuff. I know you do have to do all of these different things and pay for those things. I'm just saying for me, and maybe I have to get my comfort zone, but for me, paying $365, I'm either going to be going to Kaniki by nature. No, I'm sorry. I'm going to Nikki, my cousin Nikki. I messed up
Mhm.
her, and I'm just far. But I'm going to Nikki to get my hair done for some twists or some faux locks, or
Mhm.
I'm going to my braid lady and getting my braids all the way down here for $365.
That's
I'm going to the
true.
places where I'm having some extra hair, or I'm going to go get a weave.
Yeah, no, I
I'm
get
not doing
that.
it for no natural hair.
I feel like that's kind of like our disservice too, in a sense of like, like when we're doing it ourselves and we keep up our own maintenance. By the time we end up going back to the salon, so much has changed. Like there's certain places you go to, like you got to come pre-wash, pre-condition, blow dry, and if you're not used to that, or like it's like I'm trying to go to you so I don't have to do these things, and it feels like you're making it harder to the point that I'm just like, you know what? Forget it. I'll just do my own hair. I'll figure it out.
But I
Or
think it also comes back with the experience.
that
Besides,
too.
like we also talked about, I figured out I'm lazy. When I say my nieces took care of me and how I miss them so much, yes. But
Mm-hmm.
when I go to a salon, even how they painted in the movies and everything, you're going for the experience.
And I get
And
that part.
us being those event people and the communication people that we are, anytime we throw an event or anytime that we do really any of those type of things where we're inviting people into come, you're inviting them for also to the experience to show them a good time.
Yeah,
This
that's
goes a part of my not only my maintenance but my self-care. So the washing for me and everything is a part of the experience of you taking care of me. Like this is I'm being pampered. There are certain styles like yes, we know we gotta come wash, blow dry, whatever. But if you're doing my natural hair, I'll say one of my nieces, she like had posted something about her going to go to someone else for a silk press that was
hmm
going to charge her $225 for a silk press, but she had to come wash and blow dry it. In my head, I was just even when I saw that, I was like,
but even
"Don't you
then,
do get a wash and blow dry or like a deep or something with a silk press?"
if I'm gonna wash and blow dry, okay. But my thing is, what I've realized too, like when I'm shampooing and washing my hair, one, depending on what shampoo I use, is gonna determine all the other steps. Even when it comes down to your conditioner, good conditioner, it's gonna make your detangle either really easy, or it should make it really easy. Certain things just are not gonna do that. So then it's just like I don't want to do all those things, like wash my hair, blow dry my hair, and then I get to you, and then you gotta re-blow dry my hair, or you gotta rewash my hair because one, let's say I didn't get all the product out, or two, and no offense, and I understand that people don't want to do it, but at the same time, it's just like if I don't do it properly and then you have to redo it, or let's say you don't want to redo it and then you're doing my hair on that, you're doing me a disservice and yourself, because I'm going to tell people, oh, she had this is who did my hair. So any wrong or ill wills is gonna be on you. And like, yeah, you can be like, well, I told her to come this, that, and the third. Well, if I did those things and my hair still comes out bad, that still is a reflection of you. Like I would think that you would want, to see it look good. I don't know. It just
No,
pisses me.
that even goes back to events and how you do business. Even when Kim B. Miller and I were talking about it,
Mhm.
about just like if I invite you to an event and you start showing your behind
Yep.
over whatever it may be. The reason I had brought the example of like with money,
Mhm.
because unfortunately some artists like to talk about money
Yeah.
when there's a
I
room
get
full
it.
of people versus let's have a side conversation in the back end. If I'm coming to you and you don't do my hair and you're doing me a disservice, that's again a part of the experience, a part
Yeah.
of the experience I have with you, that if you ask me to recommend you, or when people see my hair, see something, it's either going to,
Exactly.
regardless of what I post you on Google, Yelp, or whatever, or your website, I'm
That's
still doing some type of review of you. And that's, we live in the age of social media. It can either break you or make you. So
that
if
is
you
true.
don't, I'll say at least if you don't try to rectify the situation, and I think
Mhm.
I'm not even gonna say hair care businesses. I think that's a thing with businesses across the board in this day and age now, where
Yeah.
you forget about the client or the guest experience. That's, if there's one thing I learned when I worked from Disney, it was always about the experience. That's why you always hear me talk about the magical experiences, because that's something that's been
Mhm.
ingrained in me since Disney. I always try to think about it from that perspective. And because we know how I'm picky. I was gonna say you're
Yeah, I'm
not
picky
as
too.
picky as me. I'm picky. You know how
Yeah.
well I'm picky I am. So if I was trying to think about, okay, if I would not come here, and there is very little things that can set me off. I've gotten better over the
That's
years,
true.
but if there's something I would not like here, what is it that I would change to also
Mhm.
simplify it? Because
Yeah.
because one other thing I learned from Forbes training is the aspect of luxury. You don't have to be a 5-star resort or 5-star place to give
Mhm.
a elevated luxurious experience.
That's
The
true.
moment
That's
I
true.
have to start thinking luxury in. So the moment, like you said, if I blow dry my hair and I'm washing it, I already feel like, okay, you know what? I'm still doing part of my work, like
That's
in
true.
this thing. And if I don't do it correctly, because we also know we're not gonna blow dry how Dominicans gonna blow dry. Like that blow dry, honey. Whew.
Well,
Ohio,
honestly, I'm glad because, girl,
yeah.
I shed some tears the first time I went to the Dominican.
I've gone to Dominicans, I want to say 3 times, and I said I could not. Like
I
after the
did
third time,
one
I was
time.
just like, that blowout be it be lit though. It be
But I
lit.
will say the experience, regardless of how bad it burns, well, to me it burns. I can't speak for everybody, but for how bad it burned for me, like the experience was still nice because she was still understanding. There was
Yep.
like people in another chair that was getting the same exact experience as I was, but their person was not as friendly when it came to
Mm-hmm.
like her, like, because I'm doing this because like if I feel it anywhere else before I feel it here, if I can feel it here and it's like this to me, then I already know it's gonna do on my scalp. And I mean, don't get me wrong, it was the quickest blow dry of my life, but it was the most painful blow dry. But I will say, it was raining outside, and I promise you, it felt like the water bounced off my hair. Like nothing was going to stop. this blowout. That's all I'm gonna say. Nothing was gonna stop that blowout. From
That
frizzing,
blowout was, them
nothing.
blowouts used to be amazing. When I say like I used to love with that, I feel like they had one of the, if a silk press was a silk press, they had it, because them blowouts
They had the
for me
silky
to go to the
hair.
Dominican salon. Oh my gosh, man! I mean, was your scalp on fire? Yeah. Did it felt like you probably entered the ninth circle of hell? Possibly. But was
Possibly.
your hair straight? Was it
Possibly.
bouncy? Did you see that? Did you see that body? Did the rain bounce off the
Was it
follicles and
flowing?
not touch it?
Period.
Like God had put the sealant on it. Yes, he did. Was it worth it? I'll say yes.
Absolutely.
Could I,
100% worth
could I
it.
go back now? No, I've gotten more tender headed now. I probably couldn't go back. Would I probably want to go back? Had I probably maybe had a few volumes and maybe something else? Yeah, maybe. Because then I could take it. All right, cool. You know what?
No,
I'm nice and relaxed. Do it.
I was truly a one and done. I went there, I came, I saw, I conquered, and I was like, yep,
I
count
came,
me
I
out.
saw. conquered.
I came, I saw the experience, I experienced the experience, but I ain't going back. Nope. Mm-mm. Now, would I go back if I was like, I just need y'all to flat iron it? Yes. I'll blow dry my own stuff. Y'all just come flat iron it? Yeah. Because
Because
honestly,
when I
she did scare me too, because
that
even when
was
she
the
did it,
experience.
hmm,
Say that was the experience too. Doing my own flat iron the other day.
don't even start. My first flat iron that I did in my hair was disastrous. I ended up washing my hair right after. I was like, yeah, nope, that's not it.
I
Not
used
it
to
at
be a
all.
beast in
Me
college. Remember
too.
that one time? I think I'm not gonna say no names, but I remember that I think it was one girl. She was for whether she was for a play or she was for something,
Hmm.
and she had natural hair. Again, I had never experienced doing her type of hair. I think she had around like 4C hair,
Okay.
but it was like this long,
Hmm.
like when it wasn't straight. But when it was straight, when after I had this six
Uh,
hours on her hair
yeah,
with my flat irons and my curlers, it was
yeah.
down here. And didn't you know it
I
rained the next
remember.
day and she had no idea how to tie it on up? And I said, I looked at her, I said, girl, if you don't put a scarf on here, she said, what scarf? I gave her a scarf and I said,
Oh wait,
if
so
you don't
she
put
didn't
it on
have
this
any
hair,
of those things.
no, well, because at the time, that's all she knew how to do. She either had like
Okay.
protective styles, like
Yeah,
braids, or she just wore her natural fro.
yeah,
So when I had like pressed her hair out in Dylan for 6 hours, as long as I was like, oh, it's not gonna take me that long. It's cool. It was
yeah,
pressing
girl.
her hair, and I was like,
Honestly,
yeah,
it's so funny you say that because that's what people say all the time. I'm like, oh yeah, I help you with your hair, and I'm just like, okay,
yeah, okay.
because people
You
don't
said
realize like the moment you wash my hair and it all comes together, you realize there's way more than what meets the eye.
yes, way more. That's it. Like the thickness is coming back, and like it's more hair that I'm used to.
Yeah,
But I'm like, hey, bro, I need some. I'm at the point where I'm like, I need some help. So if y'all know
yeah.
some products, if you know some folks in the DMV area, even better, if you know some in Morgantown,
Yeah, that's what you really need it for, girl. You over here talking about DMV. You need to start preparing for your
because
future.
I'm 2 months. I'm literally like less than 90. No, yeah, almost at the 60-day mark.
Oh,
If you know
that's
some in
so
Morgantown,
exciting.
West Virginia, or between Morgantown and the Pittsburgh area, I think
Hmm.
like an hour, whatever it is through that like little range, please let me know because
You know
I
what?
am struggling.
I really do hope that you find somebody because, girl, I don't want you to have the one drive back and forth to get it done every
I
however
can't.
many times you like to get your hair done.
I can't.
Yeah.
One, I because I know this is also too, which we'll probably talk about in a different episode. 'Cause I know we're gonna end shortly since we're basically 8 minutes over.
Oh yeah.
But I'll say after I thought about what my life has going on, like with the mileage on my car and things I still have to pay off and debt
Mm-hmm.
wise, I realized, and also too, like if I'm really trying to build a life there, I need to really give life there a chance.
Yeah.
I
That's
did
true.
come to the decision of I need to give there a chance. However,
Mm-hmm.
um, my my partner, he already said that he already said no. But that's why I said it's not like, oh, he said no and I'm just obeying or submitting. It's like no,
Yeah.
he said no because he's like, I don't think it's a good idea. And of course, I had my moment, call a little attitude for a second. Then when life started lifing even more, and then we started like looking at certain things line up, I was like, probably can't be doing that,
Yeah.
honestly. And that drive, even though it feels easy now, that it is about, especially
It
as soon as
is.
you get to 270, it is about an hour drive. I can't be doing that long drive. I cannot.
Yeah, you
It's
can't do that. You're gonna have to figure out some things, and we can't wait to enjoy this journey with you and your hair. Um, I do hope you do find someone though, at least within that state. I need you to
yeah,
find someone in that state for sure.
yeah, yeah. Because I know there's black people in West Virginia. It's just that every time I go, I don't see that many of them. The only other one I
Maybe they
see,
only come
especially
out
if we
on
go out, is me and
Tuesday.
James.
Maybe they only
Only
come out
other
on
one I see is me and
Tuesday.
James.
Maybe they
And he'd be
come
like,
on
they're
Tuesday.
here. I'm like, where? I only see us. I only see
But
us.
I mean, even if you do see it, it's just like what if they do the same thing that you're thinking about doing, which is traveling an hour or so away?
I mean, in my head, it's just giving me like more business ideas. Oh, you know what? I should open up a salon
That
for
part.
people of color,
That
like
part.
invest in some real estate. Besides like getting to these events and like and curating these spaces in like a non-saturated market. Maybe this is what we're doing because like I'm all about like this new financial journey that we are embarking on. Hence why I was just like trying to do this to make a
Yeah.
little sacrifices for some generational wealth and whatnot. But hey,
Girl,
it's part of the double.
it's gonna pay out. That's all that matters.
It is. Well, we're 10 minutes over, and we will be back next week. We'll announce the topic in the upcoming weekend. If you are here for any of the shenanigans of hair day or hair week, let us know in the comments. Please, that was definitely a whole real thing. Please tell us what products you're using for your natural hair, who your salon, who the stylist that you're going to, the people that you're following, whatnot. Let us know in the comments and what you also thought about today's episode. Also, tell us what topics you would like to hear us talk about. We are always here for all types of shenanigans,
And
as you
all
can
the
see
shenanigans.
playing with us the whole time because of Jahna's nonsense and her shenanigans. So we're always
Well,
down for it. Let us
at
know.
least the experiments still happen.
Yep. To think I wanted to be a marine biologist and still using science and thought I was bad at science and still doing science.
Still.
Still. Well, we all hope that you have a wonderful and a blessed evening. May you be safe and happy April.
Bye.